Hello, and welcome to this introduction to Read and Write for Google. This video was made with Screencastify, and while I'm not going to be talking about Screencastify, I highly recommend it for creating fast and easy videos in Google Drive. Okay, so let's hear how this audio works in this software. I'm just going to play in English.
Do you have ESL students or students with learning disabilities in your class? Think of them as you go view and explore this page. Click on the settings icon, which is located at the top right of your screen.
Okay, so I'm going to go up to the settings icon, this little wheel, and I'm going to look at the various voices or languages that are available. So not only are there languages available, but there are also different accents available. And we have Portuguese, Mandarin, Arabic. But for my purposes, I have a imaginary little girl in my class, and she's from Colombia. So I am going to use Mexican Spanish with her. Now, I can set the speed of how the words are spoken. I can make it faster or slower, depending on what works. Okay, now I'm going to click OK, and I'm going to hear some vocabulary in the girl's native language.
Hola. Buenos días. Buenas tardes. Buenas noches. Adiós. Mucho gusto.
Okay, so that might be useful if the girl maybe doesn't have good recognition in her own language. And by the way, this is not a cohesive lesson that I'm presenting. I'm just really presenting different features in this, and it's up to you to adapt, read and write to your own needs. Okay, so we've heard the language delivered very well and the words highlighted as the oral sounds go along. Now I'm going to change my language to English so that this young lady can practice her pronunciation of the English words. So I go back up to settings, and I'm going to go for an American accent. I'll go for Tom. Maybe I'll just speed him up a little bit. Okay, so you're going to find that Tom pronounces the Spanish words not very correctly, but enough so that the child can anchor with those words and then learn the English. So here we go.
Hola, hello. Buenos dias, good morning. Buenas tardes, good afternoon. Buenas noches, good night. Adios, goodbye. Mucho gusto, nice to meet you.
Okay, so let's say with the phrase "nice to meet you," she's really having problems pronouncing that. So I'd like to go over that. I can just isolate that. And one way I'm going to isolate that is I'm going to go to settings, and instead of continuous reading, meaning that the voice just reads on and on, I'm going to deselect that, and we will just hear "nice to meet you" when I click play.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
And I can play it for as long as I need it. Okay, so now I'd like to look at the prediction tool. And the prediction tool is located in the top left. And this is very good for using when a student is writing. So a student writing with prediction. So let's say I want to say something like "I said." So I'm just going to back up a little bit. So I'm trying, I said. I don't know if that's right. That looks a little strange to me. So then I'm going to be given some options. So I think that's the one I want. I said. Okay. Good morning. Let's see what comes up. Okay, so I misspelled that a little bit, but morning comes up. So I'm just going to end that. So that shows you a little bit how prediction works. Now I would like to go on to a translation tool. So the translation tool are two arrows intersecting. So let's say I don't understand, I can't remember what morning is. So the translation tool, oh, I'm sorry, I have to go back to the Spanish language. Translation is in Spanish here. Okay. So if I highlight this, oh yeah, sorry, morning, mañana. So it gives me a variety of things there. As well as, let's say I don't know what morning is in English. I'm just going to go back to translation, and I don't know what morning is. What is morning? Is that when the stars are out, or is that when, I'll just close that. When is morning? So the dictionary tool is a little bit sophisticated for young learners, but it does give the noun and a definition. So that's too hard for a girl, let's say in grade 2. So I'm going to go to the picture dictionary and see if they can give me an idea of what morning is. And yes, they can. So morning is when the sun comes out. So I get that. Okay, so what I'd like you to do, I've just gone over some of the features, some of the very introductory features of Read and Write. Now, you can play around with this page if you'd like, or you can think of how you could use it in your classroom by pulling up a document and going through it with Read and Write. So thank you very much for looking at my presentation, and good luck with Read and Write.